As we have discussed already, the second concept of 5 is a direct juxtaposition of the transcendent object and the immanent object of the latter duality. Because one object is transcendent and the other object is immanent, the position of the immanent object needs justification. Starting with the transcendent object, we can make the observation that the transcendent object is by nature complete. The immanent object, on the other side, has to be reduced in order for its inferior position to be justified. Everything by nature is complete. The immanent object, though, has to be reduced in order for its inferior position to be justified. Because there's on the one side the necessity for a reduction of the immanent persona, but on the other side a desire for the completeness of the transcendent object, and a conflict does arise. This conflict, or this problem, is resolved through a compromise. This compromise is an infinitely minuscule reduction of the immanent object in order for it to fulfill the criteria of incompleteness, but on the other side to come to completeness as closely as possible. Both objects, meaning the transcendent object as well as the immanent object, are by nature acute, since acuity outlines the existence of each object. But because of the infinitely minuscule reduction of the immanent object is even more acute and is therefore manifesting a secondary acuity that goes beyond the natural acuity. Because of the secondary acuity of the immanent object that comes as a consequence of the infinitely minuscule reduction, the immanent object of the duality is sharp. One can interpret the time point of the present as the very edge of the past, and in the very same manner in which the secondary acuity outlines the immanent object of the second concept of 5, so does the time point of the present, the past, given that the acute time point of the present can be understood as an application of the secondary acuity of the immanent object. The compromise that comes in form of the infinitely minuscule reduction of the immanent persona is comparable with measurement. Measurement can be understood as a conflict of order and disorder. The disorderly attribute does cause an increase, while the orderly attribute does cause a decrease. Both order and disorder are in conflict with one another, which manifests in form of measurement. Because the immanent object tries to be as complete as possible, while at the same time trying to justify its inferior position through reduction, the immanent object itself is subject to measurement and therefore subject to the conflict of order and disorder. The relationship between the immanent object and the transcendent object finds its application in the relationship between future and past. In the very same manner in which the transcendent object rests on the immanent object, so does the future rest on the past. The relationship between future and past is causal and can therefore be understood as the relationship between cause and effect, with the immanent object or the past fulfilling the function of the cause, while the transcendent object and the future fulfilling the function of the effect. Meaning, the cause or the past is in a position of inferiority, while the effect or the future is in a position of superiority.